So, it's cool if we use the Tokyo branch for our headquarters now? I'm pretty sure the Gyps guys from before thought we were, traitors.
There is no need to worry. I have told all Gyps agents that you are once again cooperating with me. I'm having the agents focus their attention on defending civilians from demons and moving them away from the void.
We appreciate everything they're doing. It's good to know we aren't turning a blind eye to the less fortunate, even when Canopus is our priority.
There is no need to thank me. My purpose, my duty to protect humanity has not changed.
Then, there are questions I have for you and Alcor.
So, what are they?
Please, ask me anything.
First, what exactly is Canopus? We'll need to understand that before we can devise a plan to deal with him.
At this moment, Canopus is the most powerful and dangerous enemy that humanity and this world have ever faced. All I know of Canopus is what I have learned from Miyako Hotsuin. Perhaps she should be the one to explain.
Very well. I will answer any questions you have about Canopus. From your perspective, he could be perceived as an evil presence attempting to devastate the world, but he is beyond such concepts as morality. He is a control system that serves a very specific purpose. He oversees the Akashic Record and the administrators. The administrator manipulates the astrolabe in the Akashic Record in order to control our world, past, present, and future. Let us call that concept the administrator system. When the system is struck by an error too far-reaching to be amended by the administrator, Canopus steps forth. He is the divine order of the universe itself, the final line of defense for the colossal structure of the Akashic Record.
What in the world could have activated that thing this time?
I believe it's because a being that was not a true administrator, namely me, regressed the world.
We regressed the world and Canopus woke up?
Correct. Only an administrator may make such a sweeping change to the Akashic Record. As I am not a true and rightful administrator, Canopus could not ignore my actions.
So he must have awoken when we defeated Polaris. And he's been interfering with this world ever since then?
Not quite. Until now, Canopus has shut himself down twice and reactivated twice. Let me see. Would you like me to explain what has happened in this world regarding Canopus up until now? Understood. This all began when we defeated Polaris. I divided her administrative authority amongst each of you. Then, I began manipulating the Akashic Record to regress the world. However, because I was not a rightful administrator, my manipulation of the Akashic Record was perceived as an error. That action triggered Canopus's awakening. He began to attack me as I attempted the regression. Shining One, you may not remember, but you shielded me from his attack. However, in your selflessness, the attack from Canopus began unraveling your data in the record. Nevertheless, you bought me enough time to finish the first regression. In the new world, you did not exist, for the damage to your data was too great.
So that's why he wasn't there in the second world.
At the time, I had no idea about the existence of Canopus or what had truly happened to the Shining One. After the regression, there was no more need for me to manipulate the Akashic Record. Therefore, Canopus ceased his assault on me. After, Canopus still registered the lack of an administrator as an error, and so he created Arcturus. He also created Spica and Denebula so that Arcturus would have its swords. Canopus then ceased his activity, concluding that all errors had been amended.
So, Canopus created the Triangulum? I had no idea.
They are instruments of death, crafted by the divine order of the universe. The second world began with the creation of the Triangulum and the disappearance of the Shining One. In the second one, you fought the Administrator and its swords without the Shining One's leadership. After the dreadful final battle, you managed to repel the invaders. Yet, the world was all but destroyed. Everyone save Yamato Hotsuin and myself had been lost. Yamato Hotsuin and I decided to regress the world once more, but in order to restore the Shining One's data, Yamato Hotsuin decided to remain in the Akasha Stratum. He managed to resurrect the Shining One in the third world. However, in exchange, Yamato Hotsuin was lost to us. Sensing the world was undergoing another regression, Canopus stirred once more. However, I was able to complete the second but as I was not a true administrator, the Triangulum were reincarnated once more. As a further measure to safeguard the system, Canopus shut down all functions of the astrolabe. All that remained was the restoration function that Yamato Hotsuin was directly manipulating. In order to rectify the error, Canopus created Miyako Hotsuin to fill the absence left by Yamato Hotsuin.
And that is why I possess this duality, both human and non-human, created by Canopus. That is the story of his resurrection, the creation of the Triangulum, and the disappearance of Yamato Hotsuin. Once Canopus concluded that the errors were amended, he again shut down. And that brings us to the current iteration, the third world. And once again, you have all defeated the Triangulum. Now that the creatures of this world have eliminated several administrators, Canopus has changed his perception of humanity. He has concluded that humankind is an error, outside the capabilities of an administrator to fix. The moment you defeated Arcturus, my creator activated once again. This time, to eliminate the fatal error within the administrator system, humanity itself.
Where the error?
Canopus is the force behind the spread of the void and the one keeping the astrolabe shut down. Judging by the current rate of expansion, the void will completely envelop the world by tonight. Well, that is the entire story up until now. Did you understand all that? In that case, I suggest we plan our response right away.
You're right. Let's get to it. As I see it, we have two main problems. Canopus and the remaining administrators. Canopus is our first priority. If we don't deal with him, the void will consume the world. If we can stop him, the void will halt as well, and the astrolabe should reactivate. Then, we can restore this ruined world through another regression. However, even if we are able to defeat Canopus, other administrators may invade in the future. Isn't that correct, Miyako?
Yes, unfortunately. Polaris and Arcturus weren't the last of the administrators. There's a long line of beings ready to take their place. Urai, Alfirk, Alderamin, Deneb. Each has a number of swords that serve them. We are frighteningly outnumbered, to say the least. Humanity has eliminated 3 administrators. They surely perceive us as a grave threat. It is likely the other administrators will come in the near future in order to purge humankind.
Frighteningly outnumbered. If that's the case, do we even stand a chance? We only barely won against Arcturus and Polaris. Yes, we will have to deal with them in time, but... for now, we should focus on defeating Canopus and reactivating the astrolabe. Maybe we can find a solution to the other administrators once we have the astrolabe. But either way, we need it. The astrolabe is our only hope to restore the world.
I agree. However, we cannot discount Canopus's power. We're mere pawns before the order that he governs.
Arcturus and Polaris were formidable foes, but Canopus is even more of a threat than they.
Not only that, first of all, Canopus does not exist within this world, or even within the Akasha stratum. He exists completely beyond our realm. Furthermore, he is beyond the concept of death itself. His body is immortal. Canopus is an eternal entity. He will never cease to function.
Eternal entity? Do you mean to say those things that attacked Chief Yamato in the Akasha stratum? Those invincible creatures didn't appear in the app's database. Do you know anything about them? Are they related to Canopus somehow?
If they weren't in the database, you likely faced shards of Canopus. Even if they are just fragments of his being, they too are invincible.
Sounds about right. Those things were troublesome.
As I have said, Canopus is the divine order of the universe itself. He is forged of the 4 prime factors: heat, gravity, space, and time. Those 4 factors make up the world as we know it. Hence, fighting Canopus means fighting the world itself. There is no way to defeat such a being.
Let me explain it this way. What happens when one tries to set fire ablaze, and fighting water with more water? Equally pointless. The only effective pairing is to match fire and water against each other. Canopus is made of the factors that govern the physical world, so he has infinite defenses. He can negate any attack. At the same time, his own attacks are always fatal to those who would oppose him. Therefore, we must acknowledge that Canopus is an invincible foe. Our only hope would be to somehow gain dominance over the 4 factors that he controls.
So, we need a solution to the following problems: how to reach Canopus, how to counteract his invincibility, and what to do with the prime factors he controls.
So it would seem. I should be able to find a way to reach him, so please leave that to me. If I modify the special terminal in the Sky Tower, we should be able to reach Canopus through that. Excellent. In the meantime, the rest of you should search for a way to defeat Canopus.
However, even Miyako Hotsuin will require aid with an undertaking of this magnitude. Please, allow me to assist you.
Then it's our responsibility to find a means of dealing with Canopus and the administrators.
I am counting on you then. Please, help us to save this world. Alcor and I will head to the terminal. We should be able to finish the modifications before the day is over. Please call if you need me for anything.
The rest of you, you know what we're going up against. Let's search for answers. That is all. You're dismissed. Except you and Miyako. Good. The others have left.
What is it, brother?
I've given some thought to our situation concerning the astrolabe and the administrative authority. Now, I would like the two of you to brainstorm with me.
I would, and gladly. However, I really should begin work on the terminal modifications.
That is certainly a top priority. However, if you have time to spare, I want to make use of your intellect.
My intellect? Thank you, brother. I am honored by your kindness. All this time I had feared you hated me.
Do not think yourself too grand, Vixen. But you have your uses. That's the only reason I agree to let you live. I do not allow my emotions to get in the way of a mission. And that's the extent of your usefulness. Accomplishing the mission.
My usefulness? Now that sounds more like you. Let me get started on the modifications. And if there's time later, I'd love to help out.
Good. Then you are both dismissed. Do what must be done.
Ah, Shining One. My apologies, but the modifications on the terminal are not yet complete. I was just thinking on how we shall put the astrolabe to use, once we have control of it, of course. There are many options. For instance, you could use the astrolabe to create a new world, free from the administrators. If we are free from their rule, we would avoid any further battles with future administrators, but mankind would have to begin anew in a primeval world. Does such a thing tempt you? There are other possibilities as well. You could place a rightful administrator on the throne. We could use the astrolabe to transfer the authority from each of you to an administrator. However, it is possible that at some point in the future, another administrator will try to destroy mankind. If it happened with Polaris, it might happen again with another. That is unlikely. The administrators are very different from man. They do not think or behave in the same way as you do. Designate an administrator ourselves? What an interesting notion, Shining One, to create a new administrator. I suppose it may be possible. By transferring the authority, we could turn a new being into an administrator. We could designate someone who would protect humanity, who would desire them to flourish, rather than Polaris or Uri. Once a new being is chosen as administrator, we can use Miyako Hotsuin's device to finish the process. We could transform the triangulum that she holds captive into swords for our new administrator. As long as we have the astrolabe, we could transfer administrative authority without the need for any sacrifices. That seems like a favorable outcome. If I could repurpose my existence as a sword, I should be able to become administrator. But that leaves one large problem. In 2,000 years, when Uri comes, I will have to abdicate the throne. Since I was originally created as a sword, I must follow the rules of the system. The same holds true for Miyako Hotsuin, since she was created by Canopus. beings born into the administrator system are bound by its laws. If we wish to ensure humanity's safety for all eternity, we will need someone else who will side with you. A human on the heavenly throne. An interesting notion, to be sure. It is true that humanity is not a product of the administrator system, and therefore not bound by its laws. One of your kind would not need to step down from the throne after their cycle is complete. Furthermore, what being would be more likely to take humanity's side than a fellow human? Whomever you select will be guiding the fate of the world. This decision requires careful thought. A human being taking the throne as an administrator. It is certainly fascinating to consider.
Oh, it's you. What do you want? I gave it up. Memories, feelings, souls. These things can't be controlled by science. I don't know why I stopped. I guess it was just making me so frustrated and impatient. And then, the research stopped being fun. Normally, I'd be so happy to be doing things like this. I wonder why I got so worked up about leaving memories behind, especially when I can't even understand my own feelings. That's probably what it is. You're actually pretty intelligent, you know that? I excluded that possibility from the start because it sounded pretty stupid. I see. That means they weren't bad after all. Yeah, I guess that's it. Sometimes the idiocy was exhausting, but overall, it was pretty fun. I can't believe I was affected by such normal desires. Maybe it's my fault. I mean, I keep hanging around with people far below my own intelligence. Daichi is definitely the sovereign king of stupid. There's this idiotic aphorism that stupidity is contagious. Maybe it's true. Anyways, I wanted to keep my memories and feelings from this world in their complete form, for that stupid reason. That was really just dumb and... Humans really are interesting. I always thought my feelings were nothing more than chemical reactions in the intracerebral substance. Talking about all this almost makes me feel stupid for letting it get to me. We should wait until we defeat Canopus first. But then we can think about everything ahead of us.
Oh, good day. You have perfect timing. As the three of us are gathered here, perhaps we should continue the conversation we were having.
I suppose we should. I want to talk about what we should do with the world after Canopus is gone. We need to find a way to stop an endless stream of administrator invasions. If only there were a way. Impossible. The administrators possess a completely divergent value system from humanity. Attempting to understand them would be a futile endeavor. To befriend them, even more so.
He's right. They don't view humanity on the same level we do.
However, It's not as though there's no way to prevent them from invading. We could create a new world using the astrolabe. Should we create a new world, it would exist beyond the realm of the Akashic Record. In other words, it would not be under the control of the Administrator system. As such, the Administrators would no longer be able to interfere in our world.
Unfortunately, it would also be a primeval world, without technology or science. Those would not be the easiest conditions for humanity's survival.
I agree. To abandon our world simply because we've been invaded would be the same as admitting defeat. That is hardly the most ideal path for humanity. If only there was a way we could avoid sacrificing all that we have built. I wonder if that's possible. Could we transform the primeval world into a more modern one?
Perhaps, but remember, in the new world, we wouldn't have access to the astrolabe.
You're right. If only there was a way to modify the world without the use of the astrolabe. Yes, that might actually be possible.
Brother, what do you mean?
The administrative authority has the power to reflect one's will onto the world. This could be used to our advantage. What if everyone with the administrative authority wished for a modernized world? It just might be possible to overwrite the primeval world with our modern one.
That sounds possible. In theory, at least.
Yes, I know. If the new world is to be separate from the Akashic Record, will the administrative authority even work? There's no way of knowing.
That's one problem. Moreover, I'm afraid the will of the 13 would not be enough to perform the overwrite. It would probably require all of humanity, billions of wishes, in unison. But even if we could orchestrate that, most of the population died in the Triangulum's invasion.
You're right. There aren't enough individual wills left in the world. I see. Of course. Everyone who's died is still within the Akashic Record. All of humanity's will yet exists, housed within the Akashic Record. If we can transfer the administrative authority like Alcor did, maybe we can do it. We won't divide it 13 ways, but rather billions of ways, to everyone. Then, we would have enough will to reshape the new world. What do you think?
Brother, that just might work.
Right. It just might. You catch my drift, yes? I believe this could create the best future for humanity.
You said you only kept me alive to help accomplish your mission. So will you execute me right afterwards?
Still holding a grudge, you conniving vixen?
You call me Vixen, but whenever he is involved, you come wagging your tail like a good little lapdog.
We'll finish this later. For now, both of us continue to exist in this world. It may be a highly irregular situation, but there is nothing to be done about it. In fact, having both of us might just work out in our favor. In any case, we need to hammer out the details of this plan further. Let's part ways and consider it some more. You are both dismissed.
Baby, they said the Black Scar's practically just around the corner. We gotta go.
It's gonna come here, isn't it? Come on, we have to go before it swallows up all of Tokyo.
Wait. Then where can we go? The thing, it's probably everywhere, just waiting for us to try and leave. This might be the end.
Will this world ever break free from divine order? Hello, Shining One. In the past, you showed me what it is to be human. You cleared my anguish with the light of your potential. However, I used that potential as an excuse. I fear I forced you to accept that vast power. Yes, the power that allows humans to weave the fate of this world. Sometimes a power so great can become the chains that bind freedom. Alas, was it a mistake to entrust you with such power? I wanted to see the world that someone with your inherent potential could create. I wanted to see how you live in that new world, free from Polaris's control. Shining One, may I wager on your potential once again? Please, show me the new futures you can create. Together? With me? Ah, I knew it was no mistake to entrust this power to you. Thank you, Shining One. Thank you. I must return to my work. Farewell for now, Shining One.